Hi collective, welcome to my channel. I'm Beck. I am a channeler and intuitive tarot reader, and this message is for you if you just felt like you released and purged so much. And as I'm saying that, the wind is going crazy outside. There's been some storms that you've been facing. There's been turbulence. There's been this ability for you to really stay in your own energy and regulate your nervous system. And right now, I just want you to sit with that and give yourself a little hug and just know that you've been exactly where you have always meant to be. The universe has you, they're holding you. Your ancestors are holding you. Any guides that you connect with are holding you. And you're not alone, and you have people around. You're really detaching from your current reality, and I really resonate with this. You're detaching from the people, places, and things that no longer serve you. If you're a neurodivergent, queer, on this healing path, that is my collective. We are a very imaginative, clairvoyant, psychic collective. Things may have gotten a little bit chaotic for you. There may have been a lot of times of memories and a lot of inner child work, shadow work. You're finding your equilibrium is really what's happening right now. You're finding what real love feels like, what love pouring into yourself feels like, what love with others feels like. You've had a lot of trouble making connections in the past. If you really resonate with being neurodivergent, if you've been on a journey of understanding yourself on a deeper level, you may have a lot of pain coming up in this last couple of weeks, last couple of months. It's been very heavy, but something has just been lifted. Something has just made you feel more free. You processed something. You processed many things. You've been alchemizing and transmuting energy like really quickly, very fast pace. You've pretty much become a master at this, and there's still some doubt coming in, and you're working through that doubt. That doubt is showing you what still needs to be accepted by you. There's like a full layer of acceptance going on. Okay, I'm gonna do some of these cards. I got Rest and Make a Vision board for the self-love deck. 43 and 33, 10 apart. Those could be significant numbers for you. This energy of 7. Okay, that's funny. I've been getting 6, 7 so much, and I just did this. The universe is having a grand old time with me in 6, 7. So this adds up to 6, and this is 7. So 6, 7. I can't with that. I have these little my cousin's kids, and they say that all the time, and it was a big joke because the number kept coming up last time they were over. And it is this, like, we're in the Libra full moon, this balance happening. Like, we're not juggling the 6, 7. We're kind of like finding that balance. And for me, 6 is a very like 3D energy almost. It's more like finding your grounding and also being aware of like the people around you, and then having that spiritual perspective where for 7, I'm mostly getting like that abundant lucky energy where things are just drawn to you. So this is like the concrete thing that you could do in the 3D. And this rest is really, you're doing a lot of spiritual work while you rest. Like when you take that random nap in the middle of the day, like you're doing stuff in the astral that you're not even aware of sometimes. But just know that that rest is really needed. And there's also this big thing with the brain. There's this new phase of like thoughts coming in. I'm learning a lot about like the ego right now, and you could be too, kind of separating from that narrative of death. because we all need our ego to be a person in the world while still being this spiritual being. And for some of you, it might even be you haven't fully stepped into some of these spiritual practices because you were afraid of coming out too much from the 3D. But it's really this like push and pull journey of finding what works for you. And I think that's really the main part of this message is doing what works. The phone is ringing in the house. That is a confirmation. The main thing I focus on when I am guiding other people spiritually is doing whatever works for you. There isn't one set way to read the energy as a psychic. There's not one way to channel. Every single person is their own unique vessel from the universe. And your expression, I'm just getting so many goosebumps on my thighs as I talk about that. Your unique expression is really the magic. What you do, what you like, what you desire, that attracts the people to you that resonate. And if you notice like moments when you were so authentic, like let's say I'm getting an image of someone going dancing and they are just popping out and just showing out and they're getting noticed. And then you meet someone that is just like turns out to be an instant friend. And this is really the energy right now. Like, I know that you've had a lot of disappointments in the past and you've had a lot of connections that weren't in alignment, but those connections taught you so much about yourself and about what you actually are looking for. And this vision board that you could be making, it's also like just visualizing and manifesting what you want to call in. It's not even so much that you have to have a concrete vision board made. Like, you have these images coming to you all the time and you're actively getting pulled towards these things. And through that is this idea of just having fun. Like, we have purged so much. We have purged and purged and purged, and this last few months has just been intense. And it's just what seemed like one thing after another after another after another. And you're still going to be working through stuff. There's a lot here with love, this whole like Venus energy coming in. And when you really focus on the love and pouring into yourself, giving yourself that rest, figuring out what you really want, how you want to feel, what your values are, that is going to allow the path to just naturally unfold. I want to do some more cards. Let's do some traditional tarot for a second. I'm also picking up on your ability to make people think. It's like this leading by example thing. There's something here, leading by example. There's people that no matter how much you lead by example are not going to understand. You can say the same message to someone until you're blue in the face. You can recommend something to them over and over and over, and they're just not going to see it until they're ready to. There is a level of consciousness that you have completely stepped out of, and it's almost like being in a whole different world, a whole different experience. It's not something that you can go back to because it's just so unnatural at this point. It feels painful. A lot of you are really understanding what it means to unmask at this point. I'm also getting that you're learning some new things about yourself that your inner child has been showing you that you completely forgot about. There could be a lot of memories from childhood, both happy and sad, coming through that really create this like beautiful balance of like healing your inner child, but also co-creating with them and doing things that they find enjoyable and that are fun and allow you to get out of your head and be in your body. Yeah. Okay. We're gonna do these guys. Awesome. So we have the Three of Pentacles and the Empress. Let's see. There's a big change going on with the Divine Feminine, as many people are aware of. we really are stepping into this Empress creation mode. It's like you've experienced the things you've needed to experience to gain the wisdom and knowledge that you have. And now you're just opening up to endless possibilities. There's this thing with that self-doubt again and self-love that's really important, because you're really learning right now how to trust yourself on a really deep level, especially if you've been on a spiritual path and a healing journey. You've purged and healed a lot of wounds around that, about feeling shame and guilt because you haven't been able to do a lot of things. There has been a big rest period going on. And now you're kind of seeing how you can create things from nothing, just from speaking words out into the world, just by having these visualizations pop in your head. And you're noticing more and more how powerful you are. And this is going to lead to really having a group or I've been getting a lot of coven stuff. Maybe you're into witchcraft. Just really understanding that there are people out there for you. There's chosen family out there for you that are gonna want to work with you with these gifts that you have and create something beautiful, whether it be art or music. I've been picking up a lot on this like Renaissance energy, where we're coming into this time where our natural creative gifts are going to be fully accepted as like an actual job. And there's so many artists and music coming out right now, and it's just going to keep growing. It's just going to keep growing. There's going to be more and more people doing this for their everyday life. Even if it's something that you're probably someone who's very confusing to a lot of people, and one moment you're creating something, you finish that, and then next thing you're doing something completely different. Like let's say you're writing a song and you figure that all out, put it out there, and then the next week you're doing all of this art, you're doing a bunch of pottery. I'm seeing heavy pottery. Someone could really be a very talented potter. And then there's this also this underlying tone of like teaching others how to do the skills that you know and sharing them with them, and having this beautiful like back and forth with a lot of people. You're really learning what a connection that naturally feeds itself and has this give and take, and you have your boundaries and you do express how you're really feeling and what you really desire, and you're getting very comfortable in that energy. You've been practicing it for a while, but you're really in just like full creation mode with this Empress. And that creation mode is going to lead to a ton of opportunities, a ton. It's going to be a wild ride. Like you just, on any given week, you don't know what projects you're going to be working on, because it's just going to be, and it's going to be fun. And with someone who's neurodivergent, like I'm ADHD, so like having multiple projects to work on at a time, or fully hyperfixating on one project and then jumping to something else, that is very exciting. And it has this balance of like having somewhat of a routine structure, like okay, this is what we're creating, but then also having a lot of fun with it and being able to kind of, you're learning how to flow with it. Like if a project is going and you're like, okay, I feel like I need to just pause on this, come back to it later. Listen to those intuitive nudges. Yeah. Yeah. You've got this. You literally have all the tools that you need to move forward. You don't need anything else. You'll learn it through experiencing these things that you're going to get more clarity. And don't be hard on yourself right now, because this is not something that's to be rushed. You are not meant to force this. When things come through, when you get that pull to do something, just go for it. Follow your intuitive nudges. And when you're in the presence of something, like let's say you get called to go on a walk, and for me personally, I tend to rush myself through a lot of these activities. Like I'll be like, oh, why am I here? Oh, it's kind of cold. Oh, but then when I'm with other people, I will like sit and be more present. So it's being more present with yourself and allowing yourself to experience things and not worry about the 3 things you have to do after this. Because that's when the magic starts to unfold. Like, let's say you go to the park, you're going on a walk, you get those thoughts, you go, no, we're going to keep going. I'm feeling intuitively that I want to keep going on this walk. And then you meet someone with a cute dog and have a great conversation, and you even get a message out of it, or you stumble across something that you hadn't seen before out in nature, a new spot or a new flower, or just anything. Maybe a bird has a message for you. Maybe you notice the squirrels running around. It's just, you just never know what has a message for you and who has a message for you, who you're going to meet. And these moments are so important of presence, because that's when a lot of beautiful manifestations come to life. And I think you're really learning that right now. And I just want to say, I'm really proud of you, and you have really put in the work. Like, really put in the work. And I made these cards with angel numbers and different chakras and things. And I got throat chakra, number 5, and 888, wealth and abundance, prosperity, celebration, law of duality, change. The throat chakra has communication, clairaudience, creativity, self-expression, speaking your truth. There's a big connection between speaking out your desires and receiving, and you're opening up your heart. These are both green, even though the heart chakra or throat chakra isn't green. So I find that to be a beautiful balance between the throat and your heart. What are your desires? What do you need to speak? What do you hold back when you're talking to other people? This isn't you being some kind of opportunist. This is you finding alignment. So don't be afraid to speak out about what you want. Yeah. I'm going to do one card for flower meanings, just to kind of pull this all together. Let's see. Ooh, that's a lot. Okay. Oh, there's 3. We'll do 3. Okay, we have the thistle, which is retaliation, protection, independence, regeneration, defense, and I also wrote revenge on here, because that's what retaliation means. This is what is being broken free from. Like, this card has a lot of duality going on. So there's like independence and defense, protection, regeneration. There's some karmic energy here. Let's take a look at this. This is the thistle. There's also a foundation, with this number being 4. Like building a new foundation, really figuring out what connections work for you, where you need to have independence, and where you can be given space to regenerate with others. It's this balance of you figuring out when it's time to be with people, when it's time to be alone. You've been in a long time of isolation, so you're finding that balance and realizing that it's okay to take time to yourself, or there's just a vibe going on when you know it's time to rest, and it's time to, you're like an introverted extrovert. And maybe you were extremely introverted before, but you're realizing how much connection and talking to people and being in community helps you. We also have the marigold, grief and despair, ritual, reverence, respect, devotion, and protection. And that's number 3, so that feels like a very alignment of this. Like, you're noticing the grief and you're processing it, and then you're also full of gratitude. It's like this push and pull of that as well. And I'm really just noticing how every situation just has so many truths. And I think you're seeing that as well. And then we also got the violet, which is so great. Let's take a look at it. My partner just picked a bunch of violets and processed them to make a syrup. And I saw some the other day when I was on a walk. This is modesty, loyalty, healing, spirituality, honesty, and transformation. Beautiful. So this is really where you're at. This is your energy. You're finding out the connections that you can be around. You know, the Jack being 10, it's like this new cycle of people and community and knowing who you can trust, that you can trust yourself, that being honest and speaking out your truth, that healing in community and being spiritual and transforming and witnessing other people transforming and experiencing this growth and sharing your knowledge and sharing that with others so that there's a ripple effect, and then there's just so much healing and beautiful energy going on with this card. You're the violet. You're the violet. I'm also getting violet from a series of unfortunate events. Very smart, very resourceful, knows how to get out of a situation, very inventive, very imaginative, very creative. And you've done that whole survival mode thing, and now you're in creation mode. Now you're in creation mode. So beautiful. All right, thank you so much. I'm gonna leave the reading there. Yeah, I'm really excited. I'm excited to do more readings, and I'm excited to get to know all of you better. And yeah, I'm just super, super happy, super grateful to be here. And I hope you have a wonderful rest of your